Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we got a map from a creator we have done 6 times in the recent past since episode 1025. Now, other than one map which got 9 stars, which is still the pass mark, everything else has been better, including one map of 13 stars, which is outstanding. Now, today's map has been inspired, certainly the name has been inspired, by a family member of the creator. That family member is, of course, the beautiful daughter, because all daughters are beautiful, and I feel inspired to a little bit of poetry. But I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to do poetry to a tune, aka a song. Here we go. Everybody, settle down. Here we go. Right. This is important. I've got to get this right. Her name is Elsie. She comes from Chelsea, or maybe Chelsea, or maybe not. Wasn't that beautiful? Was that not beautiful? Careful now. Be kind in the comments. Well, before we go any further with today's show, I have got, of course, your daily reminder. Here it comes. That's right, clicking that like button will stop me from singing, so do it now. The more likes I get, the more I will not sing for a while. There we go. Today's map is Città di Elsie by Eggsy. Yes, Eggsy is back. I'll run through that list of recent maps for you in a moment once we start going over the roads, because I think you'll want to know. There's your start square. Very usable indeed. It's going to be good for a good coastal build, this particular map, I feel. There's your shape, and again, a good flat buildable land along the coasts, but also some plateaus inland as well if you want to get in there. Your resources are good and strong. A lot of trees if you want to do forestry. Really nice vibe for that one. If you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have all of the varieties, including some deep sea tuna, but you'll need the 81 tar mod for that. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. And then we've got a few things to subscribe to, not the world's biggest list. We're using the Italian coast theme and the relight average LUT and a good, well-formatted description. I cannot fault the description. Let's have a little look at that one-click collection, shall we? Whilst we're here, generic tree packs and a few rocks, relight and intersection marking tool is in operation today. We'll take a quick glance to make sure that they've done a reasonable job of lining things up, and I'll let you know now they pretty much have. So, okay, previous maps from Eggsy that we've had a look at. Episode 1025, they got 10 stars. Episode 1043, 11. 1063 was 11. And 1088, check that one out. That was the 13-star map. 1092 was just the 9 stars. I say just the 9, still the pass mark. And then 1107, they got 12 stars, which again is an excellent score. You get 12 stars, you're doing a good job. Intersection marking tool, very slick, very slick. Everything's nicely lined up and looks pretty clean to me. So I have absolutely no grumbles with that at all. So yes, the map, we've got a really slick highway system, and it is just, of course, when you've got a creator that takes a little bit of time to just like look at things and then run over the highways and just see, have I actually left a jinky janky? Have I done an uppy downy? Have I made a huge calamitous error? And no, it's very slick. Just taking the time to go back and to fiddle. And of course, if you start making a bigger mess of it using Move It, delete the section and just relay it. Just take your time. Okay, intersection here. This is a really nice swooping intersection, and I do like there's a little loop around loop back to allow the traffic to head towards the start square. That little loop around there, I think that's been very cleanly done. Credit there. Now, this intersection here, we will be coming back to have a little look, because I've got a little thing up on the hill I want to check out, so we will be coming back this route. In fact, there's quite a lot of little interesting feature areas on today's map, so we'll be coming back and checking out a lot of those. Heading now in towards the... this is not enticing. Is this not enticing? I think it really is. And the next intersection is your start square intersection, right by a decent sized river. Very slickly done. Yeah, the cars are going the long route. You will want to grab hold of Traffic Manager President Edition to stop the cars from doing stupid stuff. Slow down the if you go to the highway ramps and drop the speed limit on those down to 20 kps slower than the main highway, they will stick to the highway because it's not a shortcut anymore. You know, give the cars no reason to leave, and they will do all the decent things. This is a really nice intersection. We'll come back and have a look at this when we have a look at the rail. This takes us off towards the edge of the map. Do you know what? I think we will go the other route, because the other route, which cuts up into the hills, is actually a lot more of an interesting ride this way. So let's head on in this way. Now check out the rocks around this intersection here. That is good rock work, but I question its necessity. Just have a look at those cliff textures. In fact, there's going to be a really good one to really look at in a few moments when we go up and around the ridge. Placing down the extra props, even if it's done exceptionally well, I question whether, when you've got a prop count to consider, which isn't particularly high on today's map, trees yes, props less so, why do you need it? Like here, look at that way that the road cuts into the cliff here. I don't really see that we really needed it down there. That said, the work that was done was very good indeed, so I can't really fault it. But it's an observation. Elevated at ground level down here. Some slightly encroaching foliage, but nothing that's causing a problem. But elevated at ground level, it's to taste, I suppose. We're going underground, and it connects up over there to the viaduct, which I haven't quite got my tongue around the French pronunciation yet. I must watch a documentary on it. It's an amazing structure, but yeah, I want to get my tongue around it before I try and say it. This intersection here we'll come back to later, because there's a feature area on either side. One I like a lot more than the other. I think that's a polite way of saying one I don't like. One I don't like. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. It's not bad, but it just doesn't grab me. The rail does the little tricks of a dropping height whilst in tunnel mode, and I would say actually yes, you've got away with this one, Eggsy, because once again, eyeball checking this. Is there a gradient? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not going to check it because it looks okay. I'm going to let it go. Where you can spot there's a change in elevation is when you go into a tunnel, and when you look at where it come out of the tunnel, there is a very significant drop. But again, not so much as that it is absolutely instantly noticeable. When you see them, these tunnels go in at one location, they immediately come out another location 50 meters lower. This is an interesting little just sort of look at that. That's an interesting tunnel to the shore. Anyway, yes, another drop in elevation there, and of course distractions like that little canal going into a tunnel mean that you didn't notice that this was quite a substantial drop again with the rail. But was it so much that it really jaunted on the eye? And the answer is, well, no, it wasn't. Did say we'd come back and look at this. I love the way that the rail plays with this intersection, goes through the middle, and it's so smooth and slick. That is beautiful work. That is really lovely work. Got some interesting catenary structures going on down here, but nothing that I'm that worried about, because as long as there isn't a catenary on the line, most of the rest of it is just fiddly, really fiddly. And trying to get the catenaries to spawn where you want them to is sometimes a bit of an issue. Now, we have trees on the line here. Now, notice we didn't have any trees on the line previously. We have trees on the line here. Makes me think, is this meant to be an abandoned rail line? If it is, I'd like to see more of a clue, because the only clue that I'm getting is the destination, which when you see where the destination is, you go, this is an abandoned rail line. And I would not argue with you. But even now, I'm looking at it going, I'm not entirely sure it's meant to be abandoned. There's just something. I think we need to go to the next level, especially the way the trees are glitching through the bridge there. So yes, I'd like to see maybe a break in the line or something. I'm not quite sure what, but it's not saying to me I'm abandoned. If it's not an abandoned rail line and Eggsy is seeing trees on the line for the first time, not realising they were there, that would answer all my questions. Anyway, we've got an abandoned, everybody's favourite factory all the way down here, which makes it look abandoned to me.
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Città di Elsie by Eggsy and the shipping routes. We've got Shipping Triangle, which leads us into that cove there. That's very good. And then if we head back out to the sea, to the ocean, we come around the headland here. We'll have another shipping triangle right there that goes into the harbour area. Honestly, I can't really grumble too much about those. There's one little harbour area you can't get into probably, but I don't think that's really going to be an issue in terms of gameplay. Water flow. We've got some little feeder rivers going into the important thing, which is the main river, which is good and strong. And as you can see, we already have loads of pipes laid down as well over the start square, so you won't even have to worry about that when you get started. Okay, the map as a whole, lots of interesting buildable areas, lots of lovely cliff texture. Look at these. I like this. This is a really interesting theme. It's a good find, a very nice find indeed. There's the old viaduct. No, I'm not going to say it. I've got to learn it. I've got to learn it. Just one of those things I've never got around to actually saying. Fortunately, it hasn't turned up on the chart show. If it turned up on the chart show, I would have to learn to say it. Right, okay, this intersection. So we've got things. Let's go this way first of all. Again, good intersection there. Very tidily done. This village, I don't understand it. I do not. First of all, it's almost circular. We've got a little well in the road there. That's not a problem, really. But yes, it's almost perfectly circular. Why would people live there? I mean, for forestry, maybe. Then why haven't we got any clearings for forestry? It makes no sense for people to live at that location. However, over on this side, we've got a really lovely viewing platform. First of all, the view from up here is really lovely, so a credit there. But also the viewing platform with the rock work that has been put in there as well looks really good as well. Let's go find some other stuff. There's other stuff to be found. Lovely big buildable area here with the old dead end of the road, of the highway there. And then if we head over this way, right, waters. I don't really, this water spawn points I think need to be hidden better, either as a lake or just a thinner water spawn or something. These kind of like dead end water spawn points are not doing it for me. Not on a map of this quality, and it is a map of quality. I said we come back down this way because we do actually have a very nice castle. Ooh, it's a castle. I've got only one grumble with it, and to be honest with you, I'm not marking down on the grumble. Let's head it across down here. First of all, it's one of these pentagonal shaped, star shaped forts. Loving this ditch around the outside. Oh, we've got some Italian flags. Green, white, red. I'm sure that's Italy. Lovely. Then we have this embankment around the outside. So if you're attacking this fort, first we've got to come up the side of the hill. Then you climb to the top here. You're getting shot at from the towers. You've got a big drop, which you probably break your legs. And then you're stuck. You can't retreat. That is a really interesting shape of a fort. And I approve. I absolutely do. Got some lights. Oh, we're going to have to do this by night at the end of the show. Just notice that. Really nicely decorated. If we come down to ground, I've got some cannons there protecting our entrance. And then we have got all the towers and the elevator walls around the outside. My only question is, how do you get into these towers? I don't see a doorway anywhere. I just don't see how you would get in here, short of with a giant ladder. And yeah, I feel that there probably should be a door somewhere. How will you put a door in there? I don't know. Do I care that much? Not hugely. I just think it would be a bonus point, yeah? Now on to a minor grumble with everybody's favourite factories. Look at a little bit of glitching on the roof right there. That's because both the factories are exactly the same level. If I grab one of them using Move It, use the page up or page down button, just one tap, and the glitching goes. There we go. That's as simple as that to fix. If you get that, it's just a little bit of a distraction. Something about distractions. I'm not a big fan of distractions. Oh, look, some beaches down here. Being distracted by the beaches. Eggsy, your map is distracting. Very nice beaches. It's almost like somebody's been watching perfect beach tutorials. If only I knew somebody who made them. We've got some trees a little bit close to the coast on the cliff edge there. There's a few. The Essential Lighthouse. Isn't she lovely? And we've got another Essential Lighthouse somewhere. We'll come to that in a moment. Some nice toenail clipping beaches. I would say they're always good. Yes, the Essential Lighthouse down here with some really nice rock work around it as well. I can't grumble. I wish I could spend more time just looking at that. But unfortunately, we are getting close towards the end of the show. So let's head across to the start square for the asset of the day. And having seen lots of beaches, we've got the Beach Hotel by Thomas 13TO. I still don't know what the 13TO is for. I'm just speculating that it's Hungarian, because I have no idea where Thomas is from. So let's just say Hungary. 13 years old, but that was a few years ago because they've been making these. And this is too good for a 13-year-old. Look, if you're 13, you can make assets like this, then you're a better man than I gungered in. Keep them coming. Thomas, you are a legend. They do this sort of building better than anybody. The large sprawling campus or condominiums and that kind of thing. They're just so good at it. And factoids, because factoids. Per head, the Swiss are the world's biggest consumers of cheese. I don't know. I don't see many Swiss people in the comments, and there's nothing cheesier than this show. I think we can all agree on that one. Anyway, yes, Beach Hotel by Thomas 13TO. Thomas, keep them coming. You're the best. Just keep them coming. Love them. And we pull back, and we're going to think about a screenshot for the thumbnail. And I think we'll do this by night down at the fort. We'll switch the lights off and everything. Well, switch the lights on. Yes, don't switch them off. We want to see what we're doing. And it should look pretty glorious, yeah? Anyway, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Patreon account, Apple, carrier pigeon, footprint. I don't know. I'm making some of these up. Anyway, what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think it's strong. I like the overall shape, the design, the feel. It doesn't seem to me that it's a 5-star map or anywhere close to a 5-star map, but this is definitely a 4-star map. So I'm gonna go for a lowish 4. There's nothing. I think the rivers possibly is the one thing that could just be polished up a bit more to make it feel just a little bit more alive. Detailing is strong. Trees on the abandoned line. I don't know. Is it abandoned? I can't find anything. I'd like to find some more things. Like that village I don't really get. Again, I've got to give it 4 stars. I'm going to go slightly higher than the first score, but still not quite a middle 4. For detail. Gameplay potential. I think this is a playable map, and I'm gonna credit it as such. I'm gonna go slap bang in the middle, 4 stars. It's got everything that I've looked for in a map to build on myself. Very happy with this one. Città di Elsie by Eggsy. This is definitely well worth the name Eggsy in the title. No, Elsie in the title. And gets a BonBonB seal of approval. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. I just make it up on the go. Does it show? It probably does. The Swiss should know better than to watch this show in their droves. Anyway, if you're from Switzerland, let me know in the comments now, please, because I need to know. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and now elite. Use the words of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with, the request map of the week. And it's a quirky one.